Hey, it's day 3 of the 100 days, the new 100 days. It's actually day 4, but I took day off yesterday. I took a day off yesterday because my mom passed away Wednesday night. And I have made a commitment to do 100 days of this, so I'm sure you understand why I took yesterday off. And I'm choosing to go back to making these videos today, which is crazy in a way, because yesterday, the night before last, I found out. But doing these videos is one of the ways that I heal. One of the ways that I hear and sort through my thoughts. I've spent 25 to 30 years connecting with people, audiences, and I find that my career to be an incredible source of therapy for me. And sometimes I get worried it might look weird, and then realize, no, we all have our own way of grieving. We all have our own way, and every person's way is totally different. And I think that it's so important that we respect how people do a lot of things, not only grieving, but everything. Because we aren't living in their body and we don't know what makes them want to do it. So for me, one way is to do videos like this. Another way is to meditate. And some people's could be to go party at a club. Some people's could be to scream and cry. Some people's could be to hide in a hole, whatever it is. I want to start out by talking about my mom. Yesterday I cried all day. And today, I hadn't yet, so I was like, when I make the video, I'll be able to do it, and I'm tearing up. And maybe it's because making these videos is a place where I open my heart a lot. It sounds weird, but I love crying. I mean, I don't aim for it or try to cry when I'm not sad, but I sure don't run from it also, because I really believe that crying is when an old part of me goes away. An old part of me that needed my mom's approval. An old part of me that thought the only thing I was my mom's son. Like, in other words, of course I know I'm my mom's son, but old stories are dying. Guarantees. Yesterday, when I found out, the night before, yesterday, it felt like there were all these little crickets in my body that have been living in my body for 20 or 39 years. One cricket was the I wish I could have cricket. Like, I wish I spent more time with her. I thought when she was in the hospital, it was just a given to me, she was going to get better. She was in there a lot, but she was having a lot of signs of improvement. And now that I know this, I'm like, I wish I had lived in that hospital. There's also the it's too late hope cricket that goes, had I been in the hospital with her, I wonder what would happen if we got all hopeful and breathed differently or whatever, or if I had watched more, or maybe if I'd watched closer. There's also the given expectation cricket, the one that always knew that I could call her. Like, what's happening right now is okay. What's happening right now, our puppy's here. What's happening right now, which is funny because he's never come over here when I made a video, but sometimes pets know when you need love. So this might be weird for a lot of people to see me just making a video and crying into it. But I think that crying is one of the most important things. I think it's just as important as laughing or excitement. I think it's a true release. I think it's like going to the emotional bathroom. And I think that the society has made it that crying is not okay. And if you feel down, then you should, be labeled something or whatever and get on different medications. But like crying really is magical. And I do feel a lot of hope and a lot more connected today than I did yesterday. But yesterday when I was crying, it was like a light that I can't turn off now shined on all those crickets that have lived in my body, that have lived inside of me. The expectation of more time with my mom cricket, the I should have cricket, all these things. And now a light went on and they're just scattering. They're just scattering all over the place. And there's this light that I can't, the denial cricket is like, no, everything's going to be fine. The fix-it cricket, oh my God, I have a huge fix-it cricket. I could outwit anything because I could fix something. Like if I have something sad, like I can go in there and fix it. Someone doesn't like you, go in there and fix it. Someone, you're going through a breakup, you can go in and fix it. And finally, when the light shines, like, I can't fix this. There's the bargaining cricket. Maybe if I do this. That cricket was able to live freely in my body for 39 years because this is the biggest thing I've ever faced. And this light is just there. I can't get rid of it. So the crickets are like, shit, like, and they're in the light. And finally, when they're seen, they're being surrendered. And the fix-it part of me, some of it's leaving, and some of the guarantee part of me, there's no guarantees, is leaving. There's no guarantees, at least in this life. When you connect to what you really are, everything is perfect. So all these different crickets are showing up and being seen by me, and they're leaving through my tears. And there's liberation under that. I'm sure I'll cry a lot more, but I really need to tell you. My mom yesterday was the first day that I lived without my mom on this planet. There's a really big memory cricket, a cricket that has all the memories. I have 39 years. This feels so weird to make a video of this, but why not, you know? I'm making this with you because we all go through this. And I would be phony if I acted like, if I only brought you the healed me. I want you to know how much I understand
what it feels like to lose your best friend and the most powerful person in your life. And right now, I'm facing it the best I can, and I think that this world will be so much better when we face our shit. Because before we even get to see these crickets, there's the denial wall. And in the denial wall, we're so witty and we're so quick to deflect what's real about ourselves, and we're in such fucking denial about who we are. And we're in denial that one day we're going to die, and we're in denial that one day everything we think we've ever worked for is going to disappear. We're in denial. And when we finally stop being in denial, yeah, we're going to go through a couple weeks of crying, and I can tell you that I'm going to be crying a lot. But I'd rather face this stuff. I'd rather face I think my strength and the best me for the world and the best you for the world is when we finally look at this crap and we put ourselves in a position where it can't run. We stop numbing it with Facebook and movies and bad food and everything, and we meditate and we see it and we look at it and we love it. And we will change the world when we do that. We will shift the planet when we do that. And I believe that one of the biggest causes of destruction on our planet is the denial wall. We're all full of these crickets and we're horrified to look at them, and sometimes life hands you something where you have to look at them. And that denial wall is so strong, and when we don't look at those things, we don't feel connected to ourselves, and we become addicts. And we become destructive people because we don't feel that connection to ourselves. And I can't deny what happened yesterday. I can look it in the eye and feel it and be thankful for the release of all of these crickets. And maybe that had to be the first lesson, and maybe the next video, when I'm able to talk a little clearer, I can tell you specifically about my mom, because there's so many amazing lessons that I got from Nancy Cease being my mom. There's no video I can make that could ever describe who she was. And I love her. And I'm accessing her more and more probably than I ever have when she was on this physical plane. When she was here, I wanted her approval. I of course was close with her, and we were closer than ever, but like right now I'm crying out these old stories of me that think who I am is someone who needs her approval, or is that little kid that wants mom to say good job, or needs mom so that I can be safe. Like, I'm crying and letting go of that story and accessing the real place of my heart, which is when my mom passed away, she released all of her story, and I'm releasing all my story. And I know we're actually probably meeting each other for the first time now. At least a lot more. So, I had made a commitment to make a video every day, and I'm making this one today, even when it's really hard to do. But my truth said still make it, and it's scary to put out a video with this much vulnerability, especially as an author or speaker who, whatever, it's scary to put it out, but it's my truth at the moment, and it's where I am today, and we're gonna all have days that really suck. And when they do, It's good to know that it's okay to walk into those days. So, Mom, thank you. I feel you. And I love you. I miss you. I love you guys. Thanks for sitting through that. And I hope you remember and take in that this life isn't permanent. And a friend of mine, Bentino Massaro, wrote a great article on when you understand that death is imminent and you face it, you'll really start to live. And most of us are living out of denial of our death, and we're just, planning for later and just hoarding stuff. And when you just face that death is real, man, you really start to live. And it's okay to remove your denial wall and shine the light on those crickets through meditation, through being, through love. I love you, and I love my mom. I love my brother Kevin. I love our family, Sarah, John, Bob, Christy, Ruthie, and I love myself. And I love myself more for facing something that was inevitable anyway. So thanks for listening, and have a great day.